beneath the abyss. The world above had long forgotten the old tales of the abyss. They were whispered by sailors, warning of a dark ancient force that lurked deep within the ocean's trenches. But Dr. Ava Collins, an ambitious marine biologist, was never one to believe in folklore. She believed in science, in discovery, in the endless potential that the deep sea held. When a mysterious sonar signal was detected at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, Ava knew this was her chance. A state-of-the-art submersible, named the Abysses, was commissioned for the mission, equipped with the latest technology to explore depths never reached before. Ava, along with two other scientists, Ethan, an experienced oceanographer, and Claire, a brilliant but reserved engineer, set off on a journey that would take them 7 miles beneath the surface. As the Abysses descended, the light from the sun faded until it was swallowed by the pitch-black waters. The pressure mounted with every passing mile, the walls of the submersible groaning under the immense weight of the ocean. The trio marveled at the strange creatures illuminated by their lights, bioluminescent fish, translucent squids, and otherworldly forms that had never been documented. But as they descended deeper, a thick, unnatural fog began to cloud the windows. "What is that?" Ethan whispered, his voice trembling. No one had an answer. The sonar started pinging erratically, and their equipment flickered with strange static. Claire checked the systems but found nothing wrong. Suddenly there was a thud against the hull, like something massive brushing against the submersible. The lights outside flickered and then went out completely. For a moment, they were suspended in total darkness, the only sound their own heavy breathing. Then, the sonar returned, but this time, it wasn't detecting their surroundings. It was detecting movement, something massive, and it was closing in on them. "There's something out there," Ava said, her voice low and steady, masking her rising panic. Ethan's eyes widened as he stared at the sonar screen. "It's circling us." The thudding grew louder, more frequent. Suddenly, something slammed against the submersible, sending it into a violent spin. The crew was thrown against the walls, blood dripping from minor injuries. Alarms blared as the pressure on the hull intensified. "Stabilize the craft, Claire," Ava yelled, but Claire was already working furiously. The submersible stopped spinning, but before they could recover, a piercing sound filled the cabin, like metal being torn apart. "The hull, it's cracking," Claire stammered. Through the small cracks, forming in the thick glass windows, they could see a faint, glowing shape. At first it was too distant to make out, but as it drew nearer, its form became clear. A colossal creature, unlike anything ever seen before. Its body was covered in slick, black scales that absorbed the dim light, and its eyes glowed an eerie white, staring directly at them. It was not just a sea monster. It felt ancient, malevolent, a force from the darkest corners of the earth. Without warning, the creature opened its enormous maw, revealing rows of sharp, jagged teeth. It rammed the submersible again, harder this time. Water began to seep in as the pressure grew unbearable. The lights flickered, and panic set in. "We have to surface, now," Ethan shouted, but Ava knew it was too late. The controls were failing, and the Abysses was sinking further, pulled down by an unseen force. As the water flooded the cabin, Ava's mind raced. There had to be a way out. They had emergency suits, but even with them, the pressure outside would crush them before they could make it to the surface. The creature circled again, and through the shattered glass, Ava caught a glimpse of something even more terrifying. Beyond the creature was a massive, ancient structure, something not built by human hands. It was covered in strange symbols, glowing faintly with an unnatural light. We were never supposed to find this, Ava whispered, the realization dawning on her. The creature wasn't just a monster, it was a guardian, and they had trespassed into forbidden territory. Suddenly, the lights inside the submersible went out completely. The last thing Ava saw before the darkness swallowed her was the creature's glowing eyes and the looming structure beneath the sea. Then, a bone-chilling whisper echoed inside the cabin. It wasn't any of the crew speaking, it was something else. The voice was ancient, deep, like the ocean itself had learned to speak. "Leave this place," it warned, but they were already trapped. Ava's heart pounded as the words seemed to crawl inside her mind, twisting her thoughts. Ethan grabbed one of the oxygen tanks, eyes wide with fear. "We have to fight it," he screamed, but before he could take another breath, the sub shook violently. The glass cracked further, sending shards flying across the cabin. Claire screamed, clutching her arm where a piece of glass had pierced through her suit. Blood mixed with the rising water, and Ava knew their time was running out. "We can't fight it," Ava muttered, her eyes glued to the creature's glowing form outside. "This isn't a battle we can win." The lights inside the sub flickered one last time, revealing for just a moment what lay beneath them. The structure they had seen was no ruin. It was alive, pulsating with an eerie energy. And then Ava realized the creature wasn't just a guardian of the trench. It was part of something larger, something ancient and sentient that had slept beneath the ocean for eons. Suddenly, the temperature inside the sub dropped. Frost formed on the windows, and the water pooling at their feet felt like ice. Ethan's breath turned to mist as he shouted into the void. "We need to go now. Ava, we need to..." Before he could finish, the creature rammed the sub once more, and the final crack split the hull in two. The icy water rushed in, and Ava's world was swallowed by the deep. Back on the surface, days passed without any signal from the abysses. Search teams were sent, but no trace of the submersible or its crew was ever found. The ocean kept its secrets, but sailors passing over that part of the trench would later report strange sightings, glowing lights deep beneath the water, and a distant echoing roar that sent shivers down their spines.